What I'm going to do for you guys is just keep it all the way 100. And I'm going to be very honest. The only reason why you guys are seeing my face is because I'm sick and tired of what's going on around us in the country. All of you guys are just going to work. You go home, you mind your business, you try to stay out of everything and you stay away from everything. And I get that and I understand that. But not understanding that just continuously doing that, that's what they want you to do. They want you to be a corporate zombie. That's why they send all of our children to school, so they can learn to be workers. You guys have to stop that. Stop sending your kids to school. Start homeschooling them. The only way to homeschool them is to have 2 people in the home that are financially working how to build revenue, generated revenue, income for that family at home. Not going to work for somebody else. Not going to somebody else's job. Sometimes you may have to take that, that L within that period of time so you can grow within yourselves in the future. Like, for real, keep it all the way a stack with you guys. Like, I got one of these. Y'all see what year it is, right? I got one of these. We still go off of SIM cards. I will take my SIM card out of this phone and put it in that without a problem. I will go black. I will go dark. Like, I will be a ghost again. You guys would never see me, ever. I would unplug. I have no reason to sit here on social media. You guys don't do anything for me. Nobody has any benefit for me, like, in my life. Nothing. This stuff is of no benefit to me at all. It's a benefit to me now because I get to sit here and talk with you guys. I get to educate my son. I get to re-educate my son and deprogram the stuff that you guys have been learning this whole time, because it's time for you guys to reprogram yourselves. So, real talk, like, again, I'm going to show it again. I got one of these. I can take my SIM card out and put it in that. I'll play Snake all day. I could care less about doing anything else. I know how to build my revenue quietly, silently, from the shadows. I know how to do what I need to do. I'm not like, a lot of you guys. I'm going to get into a lot of stuff to start educating you guys and talking. It's just so many topics to talk about. So I'm trying to touch a lot of topics to talk about everything so you guys can start getting deprogrammed, so I can get into talking about everything else, so I can get into talking about my life. Because the reason why I'm really doing this is to talk to my son. If you guys want to listen and learn at the same time, of course, it's great, beneficial for you. But I'm really talking to my son. His mother has been destroying our friendship, our relationship, our bond, our father and son bond that we're supposed to have, all because she never grew up with her dad. So she doesn't know what it is to have a father, and her father is gone, the same as mine. But Amari, your father has always been here, and I'm going to show you that. I'm always going to be here. I know what it is to grow up with a dad, so I'm going to make sure that you always know what it is to grow up with a dad. Whether you physically live with your mom or not, I make sure I always take you out. I was even looking at our videos the other day from the range. Like, you need to go back to the range. A lot of you parents need to take your children to at the age of 8 years old, you can take your child to the range and teach your child how to use a firearm, so they're not out here in the street wanting to be with these kids out here doing nonsense. It's really getting to me, the nonsense that I'm looking at. Everybody wants clout. It just doesn't make any sense. We have to do something else different. We got to do something else to make a change. And this is why I'm here. This is why I'm putting my face out here. Reason being is because I went dark and turned myself into a ghost because of the shit that I was going through in my life. I was on state probation. Amari's mother got me arrested. My first oldest son's mother got me arrested. No loyalty, no nothing. This woman is a very vindictive individual. I'm going to get to her story because, Katie, if you think you got away with everything you think you got away with, you didn't. Number one, because God is dealing with you. That's why you're going through everything you're going through. And number two, no more false order protections. Now I'm going to expose everything you did to me to our son. So he knows the type of woman you are. So he knows the type of individual you are, as well as all of these people, because you put me through all of that stuff for no reason. And you're holding my son hostage from us having a relationship. I went dark because this woman got me arrested on state probation. I was dealing with a federal case, state probation case, dealing with all of this stuff because I was in the street doing, street stuff, selling narcotics, firearms, and things like that. This woman made my life even worse for no reason at all. So when I had got violated from my first state probation, I had to do 90 days. Good thing I got off with 60 days good behavior for no reason, all because of her attitude. And then in this world, in this country, right, a woman can just call the police and your whole life is ruined off of her lie. She can call the police and lie, and my whole life is ruined. Everything that I worked for, everything that I've built is ruined because of her lie. There's not even a cross-examination of her lie. I don't get to prove anything. It's just a 061 is what they call it. A 061, you have to be arrested. Like, what? This is how they castrate black men. So I said to myself, this is what this woman is going to be doing to me. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go dark. I'm not gonna say anything. Then I was on federal probation. My PO called me one day and I was driving around in a car. That car was my friend's car, but my friend was a convicted felon. And number 13 on the conditions and guidelines of probation when you're released, it says no fraternizing with a convicted felon. I got 6 months community service, 40 hours a week. Dude wasn't even nowhere around. She stopped me because she was doing a house visit that day, but I wasn't home. I was out. I was moving around doing my thing. She stopped me and she ran the registration for that car. And that car did not belong to me. That car belonged to a convicted felon. And that got me 6 months of community service, 40 hours a week. I said no more violations. I'm shutting everything down. I'm going to be quiet with everything. I'm emotionally, I know how to control my emotions. I just had an impulse problem, which is why I needed to put myself into therapy. I still deal with my impulse now. And I try to be very controlled with it. I have an impulse problem with my hands. I don't like when people get disrespectful. This is how I've always been. My hands. It's you can't disrespect me and expect me to take it lightly, because I don't disrespect anybody. I treat everybody with respect. And even if we're having a heated discussion or argument, we have to air it out properly and stay engaged within the conversation and not throw insults and all that other stuff, because all you're doing is now showing me that you have harbored feelings. And if you have harbored feelings and you feel some type of way and you feeling tough, put your hands up. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to air that out either. Like, you guys got to put the guns down. This is my whole perspective. I grew up from an era where we weren't just taking each other out. Like, who goes to a boxing match, right? You go to watch, let's say, what's his name? Mayweather, and let's just say Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any boxers. But at the end of the boxing match, one of them airs them out. Like, you have to run. Like, you kids are so scared to even get into an engagement because of what? You guys never got beat. So you don't know how to take hits. You're scared to be embarrassed. I don't care about being embarrassed. I've been getting embarrassed since I've been on this earth. People have tried to embarrass me, ridicule me, all of that. Does nothing for me. It doesn't feed me. It doesn't put a roof over my head. It doesn't clothe me. I don't care what anybody has to say about me. You guys do absolutely nothing. Your emotional incline does what for me? Absolutely nothing. What does it do for yourself? It doesn't even show you how you can grow. So we all have to do better within ourselves. You get what I'm saying?